Okay, so this is the brand new flower frill templates from Clover. I have no idea if they are going to reach the notoriety that the Clover quick yo-yo makers have reached. However, I think that these are just pretty cool. It comes small, medium, large, extra large. And I see them primarily as embellishment, as, a corsage type piece of accessory for a woman, or as it's shown here on a headband. So I finally have been playing with it. Here are some that I have made. This is the small, and you can see here I used just a net and also silk organza, and that's using just the 15 pieces. I'll talk about that in a minute. This is the medium, and now I'm getting ready to do the large. It's very simple. There are the two sizes in each package, small and medium in one package, and then large and extra large in the other. They give you two of each of these. So here's the small and here's the medium. It's nothing but a template. So we're going to be using the large. Now I have found that the size of squares of fabric that they say are about a 1/2 inch too generous. So for the large it says 5 3/4, and I really have figured out you could get by with a 5 1/4 inch square of fabric. So that's what I have here. And it's very simple. It doesn't matter what grain it is. It just doesn't matter because you're going to have all the grains involved anyway. You simply fold it like this, okay? And then you fold it like this. And then you fold like this. And there's numbers there and everything, so it's just real simple. So let's do that once again. So you have your square of fabric, and you have this doodad, this template. So you just fold it in half, and then you see you're making the 2's match, and then you're making the 3's match. So that's it. Now, at first I thought that a rotary cutter would be fine to go around there, but it actually does not work as well as the scissors. And I cannot more highly recommend any scissors than the Japanese Kai scissors. And I do handle those at my website, londas-sewing.com. So I'm just going to trim around there. Now the other thing that I have done, as you can see on some of these, is to make use of a pinking shears. So here are my pinking shears. I got these when I went off to college. These are Gingers. Back then they were made in West Germany, and they're great. Gingers are no longer made in Germany, gals. They're made in Mexico. I can get for you, and I have on my website, a Kai pinking shears. So I think I'm going to put that on my Christmas list to myself. Okay, so you trim it, and now you have this little corner. Now, it says that you make 15 to 25 of these squares. As you can see, I've just chosen two mixed fabrics, and this one I'm making a Christmas theme, so I've got red and green, and then this sparkly net. I don't know if you can see that, but I just went to the chain fabric store and picked up some what I call kind of sleazy net. Now in the videos that I've seen from Clover, they do have you stacking them like this, so you can use one of the Clover flower head pins to kind of control everything. I'll tell you that it did not say that really in the directions. It kind of implied it when you see them all sitting straight like this, but I will tell you from my experience, unless you put a pin in them as I just showed you, they're not going to stay straight like that, and it really doesn't matter at all. Nonetheless, you do have to make 15 to 25 of these. Again, I've used the lesser number so far. And you have threaded a needle with a good strong polyester thread. Let's see, that's my garbage. And so you see I've gone through. I didn't tie a knot on one end. I've just gone through that corner. So now let's go through the corner on the one that I've done. So we're just going to stitch through here. And then, because it had that split in it, this just falls away, the template. So you see there's no limit to how much you can reuse the template. So now we've got this one on here. So at this point, all you have to do is think back to Girl Scouts And you're going to tie this in as tight of a knot as you can. So I'm going to go back to the good old square knot, right over left and under. One. And then left over right and under. Get that as tight as I can. Okay. Left over right and under. Come on, under. All right. So now that I've got them controlled, I can take out that flower head pin, and you see what you have. That's it. Now I actually think I can get those stitched together a little tighter. So at this point, it's just really finagling. I have in this one 5 pieces of each of 3 different fabrics. Here's where some nails come in handy. I'm going to pull that real tight and knot again. I will share with you that I thought I had a wonderful inspiration of sticking halfway through a button, and it didn't work at all. So don't think you're going to change this much. It's just really a frilly, froofy flower. And then they say what you need to do is go back and just pull each one of the fabrics apart. So now it's just really messing with a little bit, but it's actually done. I suppose you could put this on a floral wire to make flower arrangement, although personally I don't like that idea. So you just need to mess with these, and once you mess with it, it'll get nice and poofy like that. Now to make it something that you could easily wear, then I would just take one of these pin backs, which again are available very inexpensively at any jewelry department, and stitch that on, and you have the flower frill. So I don't know, for me I think that's plenty big. I don't think I would want anything bigger than that on my shoulder or to hold a scarf together. I suppose if you'd like to make some really fancy bows on packages, you could make use of the flower frill template to make really great decorations on a package. So there's your flower frill template. I've got the small, the medium, and the extra large, and I'm going to use this one as a hostess gift. So that's it. You can find everything at my website, londas-sewing.com.